Well, here we are, day one of the Oscars overview. For the first time in a handful of years, there are 10 Best Picture nominees, so over the next 10 days, we will review and rehash all of them, leading up to the 94th Annual Academy Awards, airing right here on ABC Columbia next Sunday, March 27th. Get ready to get sick of me. Usually I try to find a pattern to review the nominees, be it in order of chance I think to win, or alternating original movies with based on a true story movies, although this year there is only one nominee not based on something, loosely or otherwise. What I've never done is start with a front runner, so that's what we're going to do this year, and I'll end next Friday with the other front runner. So without any further ado, let's start it off with the Netflix original Western, The Power of the Dog. Our film begins with Phil and George Burbank, played by Benedict Cumberbatch and Jesse Plemons, respectively. They are wealthy ranchers in the 1925 West. Phil is the respected macho cowboy, while George seems a little more uppity. One day, after driving cattle to market, the brothers and their ranch hands are eating at a restaurant run by the widow proprietor, Rose, and her bit of an odd duck son, Peter, played by Kirsten Dunst and Cody Smith McPhee. Phil relentlessly taunts Peter, bringing both he and his mother to tears as the cowboy's only jeer. Later, George returns to comfort Rose. They begin a relationship and are soon married, much to the dismay of Phil. Rose and Peter soon end up at the ranch, where we see Phil begin to unravel, emotionally torturing Rose all the time. She begins to unravel as well, turning to drink and causing problems as she does so. At first, seeming very subtly threatening towards Peter, the tides seem to shift as Phil begins to take an interest in the boy and starts teaching him certain skills. As the movie progresses, it keeps you guessing as to which direction it is going to head. The true nature of masculinity comes into question. We start to see the layers peel back on Phil and begin to understand what makes him act the way he does. We see a mystery behind Peter and learn of his past, which in a way draws he and Phil closer together, much to the hatred of Rose. Our minds build different scenarios, but we wait to see which one actually plays out. So, what to say about this one? First off, it's absolutely gorgeous as far as cinematography goes. The thing with this movie is that it's the literal definition of slow burn. The first watch, you're almost getting bored, wondering how this took the Golden Globe for Best Picture. Then the ending comes along and suddenly you're a little bit shocked. You realize that all those small details throughout the film that you thought were just boring minutia are actually important bits of subtle foreshadowing. I'm sure once you know the ending, a second watch makes this an entirely different movie. The cast is all great, and Benedict Cumberbatch makes this character. He's amazing at making you hate him as a villain, and then flipping that switch on you that you wonder if he was ever really villainous. Cody Smith McPhee is able to both make you extremely sympathetic to his character and chill you to the bone at the same time. The really unfortunate thing this movie has going on is that you have both Dr. Strange and Mary Jane Watson saying Pete and Peter over and over again. So it just takes you out of this movie and has you remembering that Spider-Man No Way Home got snubbed. Listen, this movie is going to win some awards, but will Best Picture be one of them? I think it's the safe bet this year. Until last year, it had been a while since a movie took the Golden Globe and the Oscar, even though that used to be the norm. Is that pattern starting again? This movie kind of reminds me of last year's Nomadland with the pacing and beautiful cinematography, and this one has that crazy twist at the end, making it, in my opinion, a stronger movie. We'll see if the voters agree, and I'll do a prediction next Friday. This has been your Oscars overview. Tune in tomorrow for a look and a listen to our next nominee, and yes, that is a hint. And be sure to tune in for the Oscars next Sunday, right here on ABC Columbia.